You ever heard the phrase, how you do anything is how you do everything? I know it sounds deep, but let's actually talk about it because it's not just some motivational quote that people post on Instagram, even though there's a lot of frauds out there who are posting quotes and not really living what they're posting, but that's a whole different story. What that quote symbolizes is a mirror. It's a mirror that shows you who you really are, not when people are watching, but when nobody is. And the truth is, the way you show up in the small things like brushing your teeth, making your bed, sticking to your word when it's inconvenient, that's exactly how you're gonna show up in the big things. So yeah, let's talk about it because me, I used to let the little things slide. And those little things, right? They almost ruined my shot at becoming the man I know I could be. So let's keep it real. Most people, they lose the battle before they even get out of bed. See, that alarm goes off, then they hit snooze. They told themselves they were gonna hit the gym, but then miraculously they don't feel like it. They said that they were gonna journal, they were gonna meditate, they were gonna read, but somehow TikTok snatched the first 30 minutes of their morning. You wake up, you pull up that phone, you're on TikTok, you're scrolling, and then you get distracted, and what you said before doesn't really matter. I'm not sure if that sounds familiar, but I've been here. Because bro, here's the truth. Every time you negotiate with yourself, you're reinforcing the version of you that doesn't follow through. And you don't just do that in the gym or with your morning routine. You do that in your business, in your relationships, in your discipline. You start telling yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll get serious next week, or I'll start once my life slows down. Nah, bro. The pattern doesn't go away. It follows you. Because at the end of the day, how you do anything is how you do everything. Let me give you a personal example. I remember back when I was 240 pounds. Every time I tried to go hard in life, my business, my relationships, whatever, I felt like I was dragging 50 extra pounds of regret behind me anywhere I went. And it wasn't just about me being overweight. It was about knowing I wasn't showing up for me. And you know how that showed up? I'd have commit to things, right? So I say yes to stuff just to please people, but end up not ever doing it. I would avoid hard conversations. I would skip workouts. I would eat trash food at night and promise myself that I'll get back on track on Monday. Like that's, if you don't know by now, that's my inner voice, right? Yeah, I was out of alignment. But one day I realized something critical. The gym wasn't just the gym. It was the training ground for everything else in my life. If I could conquer the inner voice I just talked about, if I conquered that voice while I'm in the gym, that one that said, stop, it's too hard, or skip today, then I could start conquering that voice in every other part of my life too. You see, the reps in the gym, they became reps in discipline, reps in self-respect, reps in becoming him. You know what I mean? But here's the wild part. Most people think the breakthrough is in the big moves, the 10K launch, the six-pack transformation, that viral moment. But let me tell you, real breakthroughs, they come in the small, the unsexy stuff. It's not sexy, bro. It's not sexy to make your bed. It's not sexy to say no to that snack at midnight. It's not sexy to wake up when your alarm goes off, right? We got to start finishing the last rep when your mind says stop. That's what's sexy. And when you do those things with excellence, when you wire your brain for standard, and once you raise your standard in one area, it bleeds into everything. That's why I say Your life doesn't change when something big happens. Your life changes when you start doing the small things differently. Because at the end of the day, how you do anything is how you do everything. Now, fast forward to today, right? I'm training for a marathon, 26.2 miles up a mountain in LA. And let me tell you something. This ain't just about running. This is about proving to myself that I am who I say I am. But it didn't start with a marathon. It started with small, consistent habits. It started with reading those daily 10 pages, drinking that daily water intake, saying no to junk food, journaling, stacking one win at a time. It's not easy, but let me be real with you. Last week, I was running, I was supposed to run 8 miles. That was part of my training plan. But I decided to run on one of the hottest days in the summer. It was hot as hell. I'm not gonna hold you. There was no shade. My legs was on fire. And I was at mile 3 when I genuinely thought I was gonna pass out. I had to stop at the corner store just to grab some water. And the old me would have called it quits. I would have been like, yeah, nah, bro, that's a sign I need to go get some rest. But now, I just reminded myself, every mile matters. Because how you push through this is how you push through life. Every time you tell yourself, just finish this one, you're rewiring your brain to keep going, even when life gets hard. Because it will get hard. And that's the muscle I've been continuously building. And I promise, bro, it's not just physical. It's mental. It's spiritual. It's emotional. It's personal. So if you don't take away anything from this video, here's what I want you to at least take away. Discipline isn't a punishment. It's a pathway. Every time you say no to your comfort, you say yes to your calling. Every time you say yes to the hard thing, you say, I'm ready for life, for the actual life that I want. And that's the shift. You're not just brushing your teeth, bro. Don't look at it like that. You're proving to yourself that you take care of the details. You're not just journaling. You're giving yourself clarity. You're giving yourself clarity when the world's trying to cloud your mind. You're not just hitting the gym. You're saying, I don't skip the hard stuff even when no one's watching. That's when you know you've built something different. That's identity. That's character. That's how the real ones are built, not in the spotlight. People think that you need to be in the spotlight and everybody needs to see your growth. No, that's not when it's easy, but when it's just you, the task, and a decision. And when you can do the small things well, you'll do the big things even better. I don't know where you're at right now. Maybe you've been skipping the small stuff. Maybe you've been negotiating with your potential. Maybe you've been telling yourself that you'll get serious next week. But what if this is your week? What if you decided right now to start doing the small things like they actually matter? Because they do. That's why I built Unstoppable Nation. That's why we run the Monk Mode Challenge. It's a 30-day challenge that isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about aligning your mind, your body, and your spirit with 7 core execution habits: reading, journaling, moving your body, eating clean, praying, and deep work. And mind you don't have to do all 7 at once. You can literally just start with 2 or 3 and level up over time. But the point is, you don't have to do this alone. We track it. We hold each other accountable. We win together. So if you're tired of breaking promises to yourself, if you're ready to actually show up like the version of you that you say you want to become, click the link and join us. And mind you, it's totally free. So there's no excuses not to get locked in, because how you do anything is how you do everything. And from this point forward, you're doing everything like it matters. Stay locked in and stay unstoppable.